That's low, ball one.
Pardon me. Shouldn't be stats. They are.
It's their 10th stolen base in the spring, and they've only had one caught stealing.
Arrieta throws home, and the fastball picks the inside corner. Called strike on Urania. 1 ball and 1 strike on Richard. Up and down 3 different times between AAA and the big leagues last year. Finished the season playing in 40 games. Got 99 at-bats. Left-handed hitter. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Urania, September promotion in 2017. Played in 21 games down the stretch. This is somebody we talked about in the pregame show, Mike, when Jeff Blair was in here, part of lifting the lid on our coverage. Does Richard Urania make this club and go north? The 1-2. Swinging a fly ball near the line in left. Long run in for Cousins. He's on the move. He dives and he trapped the ball. Rounding third, offers in to score on a bloop base hit from the bat of Richard Urania. He gets offered across to tie the game 2-2 with an RBI single.
Blue Jays doing it little style here in the top of the third inning. Weak ground ball doubles, bloop singles, stolen bases.
Are you surprised at how far Cousins was back in left field?
Uh-huh. Was he not aware that Richard Urania was hitting, perhaps?
He should have been very aware. I mean, Gabe Kapler does every metric in the book.
I can't believe that there's a spray chart in existence that says when Richard Urania is batting left-handed, your left fielder should be in deep left center field.
Jake Arrieta has reached his pitch count with 2 outs here in the second inning of a tie game. It's 2-2. The Blue Jays scored Justin Smoke on a wild pitch and a throwing error. Anthony Alford swipes second, and that set up the game-tying RBI base hit from Richard Urania. It's a 2-2 score in Clearwater between the Phillies and the Blue Jays. There are other scores and other things to talk about across Major League Baseball. Let's find them out with Mike Wilner in the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard.
You bet, Ben. The Kansas City Royals have themselves a new catcher, Salvador Perez, who's been a stalwart behind the plate for the Royals for decades. Needs to have Tommy John surgery, so he's going to miss the rest of this season. And the Royals, who needed a catcher, picked up Martin Maldonado today, a 1-year, $2.5 million contract. Scott Boras, Maldonado's agent, and the Royals reached agreement apparently on Wednesday, but the I's were crossed and the T's were dotted finally today. The deal also includes $1.4 million in incentives, so that means Maldonado could still wind up making the same $3.9 million that he did last year. And this is a piece, Ben, of this continually weird free agent market now 2 years in a row with a lot of guys still left over. Right, Luis Severino goes down for the Yankees with a shoulder thing. Hey, they might sign Dallas Keuchel or Gio Gonzalez because they're still both out there. Royals lose their catcher, and what do you know? There's an everyday catcher still sitting there in free agency as we get close to the middle of March.
Be very interesting how rosters continue to develop with these free agents that are looming, but also remember, rosters have to be set. And you could see a lot of guys go on the waiver wire and be picked up, or some late trades down the stretch as 25-man rosters become the true 25-man roster.
That's going to be a fun week, that March 26, 25, 6, 7, just before opening day when rosters do get set and players who are out of options go through waivers. There's movement in there, and one wonders if at that point in time, with opening day looming, a lot of these players who are still out there as free agents say, all right, enough already. I'll just take a job, and they wind up signing for a lot less than they planned.
New left-hander on the hill, it's Austin Davis replacing Jake Arrieta, who departs after an inning and 2/3. It's a 2-2 ball game between the Phillies and the Blue Jays. Luke Maile, the new batter. Right-handed hitting catcher against Austin Davis, who takes a long look over at Urania, who then draws a throw. And he scampers back.
There's a little shimmy shake in the shoulders there by Austin Davis on that throw over to first, trying to pick off Urania.
Lefties get away with everything, don't they?
That they do.
26-year-old Port Sider set. Peeks towards the plate, slide step, and a fastball called strike one on Maile. Luke hit .248 last year. Drew 25 walks. The pitch by Davis. Fastball called strike at the buckle. And it's quickly 0-2. Austin Davis picked up his first major league victory last year with Philadelphia. Appeared in 32 ball games out of the pen. Lefty's toss, fouled away off to the right. And it stays 0-2. Battling. That's just a couple of rows in front of the fan that used a two-handed grab. This guy says, I can do you one better. A one-handed spear. Davis deals. Swinging a pop-up off the fist, retreating Kingery back from second into the outfield grass, calling, catching to retire Maile and the side. Blue Jays did it in an unconventional way in the second inning. Beating the shift with a double, Justin Smoke's legs, and then a bloop base hit into left by Richard Urania. Ties the game 2-2 between the Phillies and the Blue Jays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball over the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Beat the cold with Reliance Home Comfort's midwinter sale. Right now, you can get up to $2,700 in savings and rebates on our featured furnace. Plus, for a limited time, you can also make no monthly payments for 18 months. We'll even throw in a free Nest thermostat. Don't put off replacing that furnace any longer and save big during our biggest furnace sale of the year. But hurry, a deal this good won't last for long. When you need help fast, call on Reliance. Conditions and taxes apply. Zero down, 14.9% APR for 120 months OAC.
Get more than you can imagine for less than you think in the Nissan Rogue. With standard Apple CarPlay and intelligent emergency braking, the Rogue is the right choice for your family. Plus, during the My Choice sales event, lease a Rogue from the equivalent of just $69 weekly and choose your own bonus offer.
I got $1,500 bonus cash. I got up to a 1% rate reduction.
Nissan is making up to my first 3 payments, up to $1,500.
Visit choosenissan.ca or your Nissan dealer. $298 monthly for 24 months, 0.9%, $29.95 down. Includes choice of $1,500 bonus cash. Conditions apply.
Right now at Rogers, say goodbye to winter with spring's hottest offer. Introducing the Samsung Galaxy S10 family, starting from $0 with a new Upfront Edge program.
So I can take great spring photos?
With the ultra-wide lens camera, it's possible.
And stream movies on the go?
You can, with the Galaxy's edge-to-edge cinematic experience.
Woo, that is a hot offer.
Visit a Rogers store and get the Samsung Galaxy S10 family, starting from $0 with Upfront Edge on select 2-year plans.
This is Toronto Blue Jays Baseball.
This is Rylan Grichuk, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
2-2 ball game, home second inning for Philadelphia. Scott Kingery just retired the Blue Jays, catching the pop-up from Luke Maile, and now Kingery digs into the right-handed batter's box. He'll face Matt Shoemaker out of the windup. His pitch. Check swing by Kingery. Called for going around by the home plate umpire, Phil Cuzzy. And that's strike one. Kingery, part of the long-term plan for the Philadelphia Phillies. Signed the big deal last year. Wants to feel comfortable as an everyday player. He played almost every day last year. Fastball from Shoemaker. Across the knees, a called strike, and it's 0-2. 147 games a season ago. Didn't quite have the average up where he wanted, batting .226. Did have 33 extra base hits. The pitch, 0-2, taken high. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kingery. Dylan Cousins, Mitch Walding set to follow. Lane Adams, if anybody gets aboard. try to continue the inning, get all the way through the card. The 1-2. Off speed, taken just a touch low. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
No appeal there from Luke Maley, a little surprising. Remember last year we saw the Phillies so often in the spring, and it was, will Kingery make the team? Will they send him down to manipulate service time?
The 2-2 pitch popped up off the fist, shallow in left, long run in for Hernandez. Sun glaring off the glasses. He's there in time, a two-handed squeeze. Route number 1.
97, number 25, Dylan Cousins, left field.
2-run home run by Rhys Hoskins. The Blue Jays cut it in half using the wheels of Justin Smoke. And then Richard Orania going the opposite way with a dump base hit to tie 2-2. From shifting left, now shifting right. Blue Jays on the move. Shoemaker fires. A strike on the inside corner on Cousins.
And oddly, Ben, look who's throwing in the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen right now. It's Jake Arrieta.
I wondered if he was flirting with the pitch count and then just wanted to get to a number of pitches. The 0-1, swing and a miss. So 2.
I wonder if Gabe Kapler thought it was becoming a high-stress inning for him after facing 5 batters and issuing that walk. Wanted to get him out of there, but he still has to catch up on his pitch count.
Cousins looking out, the left-handed slugger. Waiting on Shoemaker, and now Cousins asks for time, and Shoemaker steps off. Yeah, that's interesting, but Gabe Kapler also saw an opportunity for a mid-inning pitching change, and he never lets one of those go by. I kid. The 0-2. Fastball is high and tight. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you had to sit through it on Wednesday in that 3.5-hour game. It really is something. Tony La Russa retires, and now there's another manager in the big leagues who will never use 2 pitchers when he can use 6.
The 1-2 pitch. Just inside. Long hold by Maley. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Just missing against Cousins. Matt Shoemaker had the big year back in 2014. Walked 16 victories with the Halos. The 2-2 in the dirt. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. With the 16 W's, a 304 earned run average. Finished second in the American League Rookie of the Year votes. And he's battled to have some longevity on the mound since. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string. Cousins way out in front. A strikeout for Shoemaker as he fans his second.
Batting 8, number 29, Mitch Walding, third base.
2 down here in the second inning and a 2-2 game. Mitch Walding is the hitter. Playing at third base today. Be just about shoulder width apart. Waggles the bat back and forth. The toss. Breaking ball tumbles in. Strike 1. The Blue Jays moved the defense to the right, but they've left the shortstop, Freddie Galvis. Well, he started, and now he's backpedaling and shuffling backwards and slightly to his right. Just in front of the cut of the outfield grass. The 0-1. Off speed, swing and a miss. Vicious hack. Walding comes up empty, and it's 0-2. Played at 13 ball games down the stretch. And the pitch by Shoemaker. Cut on it. Missed. Another slider. Waved through by Walding. Back-to-back strikeouts for Shoemaker as he breezes through the second. 3 up and 3 down. We are through 2. Your score, 2-2 between the Blue Jays and the Phillies. Mike Wilder has your play-by-play story on the other side right after this. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey guys, Angelo Viola from Richmond Shore at the International Center.
You gotta be this tall to get on this ride. You are not this tall.
You know what you can do with your limits, right? Get to the Jeep No Limits event and experience Canada's number 1 selling 4x4 SUV brand. Now get up to 15% off MSRP for up to $10,650 in total discounts on select Jeep models. And make no payments for 90 days. The Jeep No Limits event. See dealer for details.
Your business is one of a kind. That's why Rogers offers wireless solutions that help your team stay connected, no matter where their job takes them.
So we'd never miss a customer call?
It's possible.
In the big leagues who will never use 2 pitchers when he can use 6.
Selling 4x4 SUV brand. Now get up to 15% off MSRP for up to $10,650 in total discounts on select Jeep models. And make no payments for 90 days. The Jeep No Limits event. See dealer for details.
Your business is one of a kind. That's why Rogers offers wireless solutions that help your team stay connected, no matter where their job takes them.
So we'd never miss a customer call?
It's
opportunity here. 1-0 is outside, ball 2, 2-0. And it's possible, Ben, that both he and Richard Urania come north with the team.
It'd be very interesting to see how this shakes out, right? If you've got the injury to Devin Travis, starts the season on the disabled list, how much utility would you like to carry?
Sogard can play the outfield, not especially well, but he's done it in the major leagues. He did it today for one hitter. Pitch to him, sails outside, ball 3, 3-0. Does that 25th spot on the roster go to a Dalton Pompey who's out of options? Does it go to a Sogard? Does it go to another reliever? There's a strike call with a fastball, 3-1.
I think it goes to a reliever. And if the Blue Jays have a 5-man rotation that they're happy with and want to stretch out Clay Buchholz.
3-1 pitch is lined into the gap in right center field. That will get down. Adams coming over, cuts it off before it gets to the wall, bobbles it a little bit. The throw into second is late. That is a double by Eric Sogard. Left on left with some serious hustle going those 180 feet. And the Blue Jays have a runner in scoring position here with 1 out.
That was a double in the mind of Eric Sogard from the moment it left the bat. He cut the bag at first and never broke gate. Even though there was a little bit of a bobble in right center field, I think it was because Adams was surprised that Sogard didn't pump the brakes. And he double clutches. The throw arrives late, but that is a hustle double in the truest sense from Eric Sogard.
Very well done indeed. And it brings up Teoscar Hernandez, who picked his batting average up over 500 with a single in the first inning off of Jake Arrieta. Now he gets the lefty, and he takes the first pitch down for ball 1. If the Blue Jays do carry 8 pitchers in the bullpen, there is no room for that other utility guy. Teoscar swings and a ground ball, hits the bag at third, pops over the head of Walding, goes into short left field. Sogard rounds third. He's coming home, the throw, the tag, he's safe. An RBI single by Teoscar Hernandez off the bag at third base. And the Blue Jays take the lead for the first time today. It's 3-2.
Couldn't roll it down the line any better than that.
hits the bat, pops straight into the air with enough flight to get over Walding and then get into the outfield grass. Sogar's watching it develop in front of them. Then he picks up Luis Rivera, who wheels him towards the plate. And that speed was one of the little things that we're watching, and the aggressiveness where Charlie Montoyo wants to push the envelope and find out what kind of legs these guys have, picks up the run.
Brings up Justin Smoke, who did a whole bunch with his legs last inning. The Phillies shift on Smoke. There's a throw over to first to check on Hernandez. The second baseman, Scott Kingery, is very close to the bag, but still on the second base side. And with as a left-handed hitter, last inning for a double, he swings and he pops that pitch foul out of play 0-1. Justin, well behind that 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Before game started, we were over at the complex in Dunedin, and Blue Jays were taking some batting practice, and I was next to the cage, and Justin Smoke hopped in and kind of grunted after a big cut.
Another throw over to first, not much on that one.
And he goes, got to get these legs underneath me. And I said, how close are we? Just, chirping back and forth. He said, it's going to be a few days. Takes another big rip. Maybe a week. Another big rip. 2.
There's a little ground ball, first base side foul. Justin Smoke is as genuine as it gets. Very good self-deprecating sense of humor. Knows not to take himself too seriously, and he has a good time out there. And he's extremely productive. Oh, 2 pitch, swung on, hit in the air, deep left center field. Cousins going over towards the gap. On the track, he reaches up, and he makes the catch. Back to first goes Teoscar Hernandez. Smoke gave that one a ride. There are 2 outs in the third. And speaking of rides, Ben Wagner, Charlie Montoyo brought in a magician before the game today in Dunedin, a hypnotist/magician. And the Blue Jays were hypnotized into thinking they were on a roller coaster. Here's Rowdy Tellez, struck out in his first trip. He's left on left now against Austin Davis. And a throw over to first, and that's a balk.
That's a balk.
That's absolutely a balk.
He lifted his leg, paused, held it, Stroman-esque.
And then moved his shoulders.
Yeah, and then threw to first base.
It was so telegraphed that Hernandez got back easily, but that's 1,000% a ball. First pitch to Rowdy, swung and foul back. So apparently the players legitimately believed that they were on a roller coaster, sitting in their room. Charlie Montoyo said they were sweating, it got hot, and Smoke got up at one point saying it was real. Little team bonding exercise for the Blue Jays before the game. Here it's 3-2 Jays, top of the third. Pitch to Rowdy. Swing and a miss on a changeup. And it's 0-2.
Have you done any of those kind of exercises where it's supposed to, build team building?
I don't believe in team building. You've known me for a whole year.
I could have answered my own question, right? Ever ask a question you don't know the answer to?
0-2 pitches low, ball 1. And I've never been on like a retreat like that or something, or even that sort of thing where they bring in a guest speaker. And did they do that in Buffalo? Were you ever bonded? Throw over to first, not a balk, and Teoscar back safely.
Out on bond, maybe. No, some of that team building. Yeah, I mean, I guess we did some day trips just to build front office chemistry and things of that nature. We've had leadership seminars and special speakers brought in at a previous team that I worked for.
Hernandez the lead. 1-2 pitch to Rowdy. Little check swing looper over third. That's going to drop in shallow left field. A base hit. A little nothing doink single for Rowdy Tellez. A check swing. And Rowdy is strong enough that check swing pop-up went 130 feet. Hernandez stops at second, and there are two away.
Blue Jays doing things different today. I mean, this whole game is just different.
The hardest hit ball might have been the one that was run down for an out on Smoke's fly ball here in the third inning. Otherwise, it's been bloops and ground balls against the shifts and dinks and doinks and wild pitches that have helped Blue Jays build this 3-2 lead for Anthony Alford. The pitch is low, ball one, maybe.
Is this hypnosis?
Yeah, maybe they've been hypnotized into thinking that they're a legs team.
Well, the roller coaster is right. That starts on March 28th.
That's for sure. Runners take their leads. 1-0 to Alford. He swings and fouls it back behind Freddie Galvis. This keeps up. The hypnotist is coming back tomorrow. Hernandez is at second. He reached on a ground ball off the bag. Tellez is at first. He reached on a little check swing blooper over the third baseman's head. 1-1 to Anthony, almost hit him in the elbow, 2-1. Alford is some kind of hot. 2 home runs yesterday and a double in that split squad game down in Bradenton. On Wednesday, the last time he played before that, he homered as well. Walked, stole a base, and scored in his first trip. He takes that pitch inside, and he's got himself in a very good hitter's count at 3-1. The wind is blowing out to left, not quite as hard as it was before, but it is now. Favoring a right-handed power hitter, and Anthony Alford's got himself some pop. 3-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball, deep left center field. Cousins going back, looking up at the wall, and well gone. To the second last row, out there in left field before the walkway, Anthony Alford with his 4th home run in 3 games. It's a 3-run shot, and it gives the Blue Jays a 6-2 lead.
These are the swings that were absent last year from Anthony Alford. This guy is on time right now and driving the baseball. That's the swing that we were in awe with early in spring training last year, and if it wasn't for the hamstring injury, likely would have catapulted to the big leagues early in the season last year without a doubt.
He was the best hitter for the Blue Jays in spring before he went down with that hamstring injury, and now Anthony is heating up. Gabe Kapler has seen enough of his lefty, Austin Davis, and here with 2 out in the third and 4 runs in, Kapler comes out to make the pitching change. Davis gives up 4 runs here in the third. The big blow, we just saw that 4th home run of the spring for Anthony Alford and the 4th home run in 3 games. And as the Phillies' new hurler comes in, Ben Wagner, you talked to Charlie Montoyo before the game. We can touch on that injury report.
Yeah, as you heard in our pregame conversation, as part of our pregame show earlier today, Charlie Montoyo said Devin Travis is likely not to be ready for opening day, a DL stint almost inevitable, and it's not necessarily the significance of the injury, but the timing of the injury for Devin Travis. Once he gets on the field and resumes baseball activity, it'll be 4 or 5 days moving forward and backwards before he starts even the lateral movement defensively, and that's a test that he's going to have to make and also pass to avoid any further inflammation in his left knee flaring up. They want to see him move on the diamond defensively, start to take ground balls, get him in the cage, and test that left leg. And because of the time that's necessary for Devin to get back on track, likely a DL stint to begin the year for Devin Travis, which is really unfortunate news.
It really is. And, you know, Travis, we keep saying it, he's a guy you root for, not just because he may in fact be the nicest guy in the world, but because he can really hit and he can really help this team when he's healthy. The closer has come on here. Sir Anthony Dominguez is pitching for the Phillies, or getting set to pitch at least to Freddie Galvis.
you have known Devin Travis since he first arrived on the major league scene. I've seen him, right? Well, yeah, and I've seen him come and go in Buffalo, and even last year, he was so happy for the majority of the season outside the time he got optioned, but so happy to just be on the field from wire to wire and be healthy. He was a little bit beat up down the stretch in the closing days of September. Didn't play a lot, kept his legs underneath him, whatever, but never saw his name next to the disabled list. And he was oozing with confidence to start spring training this year.
He had a healthy offseason. He was ready to go. Hopefully he'll be ready to go by the middle of April. Here's Freddie Galvis. And he takes the first pitch inside from Sir Anthony Dominguez. Dominguez, as dominant a reliever as there was in the major leagues last season. There's a big swing and a miss on a 97-mile-an-hour heater. And it's Sir Anthony, one word, S-E-R, Anthony. 1-1 pitch is low for ball two. Last year, in 53 games for the Phillies, in 58 innings, allowed just 32 hits, walked only 22, struck out 74. Swing a ground ball to second. Over to get it is Kinger. He dives, it's underneath him. And it's a base hit for Freddie. Galvis with a single under the glove of the guy who kind of took his job last year when Freddie went to San Diego. And the hits just keep on coming for the Blue Jays. That's their fifth in the inning. Their eighth so far today. They lead the Phillies 6-2. Doing it the short way and then doing it the long way. Here's Richard Urania, who had a bloop RBI single last inning. Singles again. A line drive. Hard hit in front of Andrew McCutcheon. Galvis will stop at second. And Urania's 2 for 2. I'll wager in the majority of his outings last year, Sir Anthony Dominguez didn't give up 2 hits. Never mind 2 base runners. Back-to-back singles here as the red-hot Blue Jays look for their 7th straight win in spring training. Luke Maile takes the first pitch. Strike, the cutter from Dominguez. The offense has really been clicking. 0-1 pitch is low. In 3 of their last 4 games going into today, the Jays have scored at least 9 runs, including a couple of 11s. Runners take their leads from first and second. 1-1 to Maile. Had a notion laid off on the inside fastball, and it's 2-1. Tomorrow, the Blue Jays make their longest road trip of the spring, going to Fort Myers and Hammond Stadium to take on the Minnesota Twins. Swing and a miss on a changeup. And it's 2-2. Ryan Baracchi will start for the Jays. Jay Odorizzi gets the call for the Twins, and Michael Pineda will follow him. Pineda missed all of last year recovering from Tommy John surgery, signing a 2-year deal with the Twins last winter. 2-2 to Maile is low. And the count is full. Full count pitch, runners go, and it's foul back to the screen. Maile is 1 for 16 this spring. Not trying to win a job here. He's pretty secure as the backup catcher, likely to Danny Jansen. Runners go again. Another 3-2 pitch is bounced up the middle and through, a base hit. Galvis is in to score. Urania stops at third. An RBI single for Maile. And the Blue Jays up the lead to 7-2 here in the third.
Blue Jays collecting their base hits using 100 hops each. A lot of contact from Toronto. A couple of big flies, of course. Anthony Alford and Justin Smoke had the long drive that was caught in front of the wall. Alford with that big 3-run shot. But the Blue Jays, for the most part, using small ball.
It's the third inning. The Jays have 10 hits, and one of them has been hit hard as Kevin Pillar takes that pitch inside for ball 1. Teoscar Hernandez has 2 hits of those 10. One was a little floater into center. One was a ground ball off the bag at third base. Pillar takes the pitch up, ball 2. Justin Smoke's double was a ground ball down the line because there was nobody playing on that side of the infield. Richard Urania has a blue pit and a floater. 2-0 pitch, swung on and foul back. Rowdy Tellez got a little duck snort single over third. Really, Eric Sogard's double and Anthony Alford's home run, the only balls hit hard. Sogard waits on deck, watching Pillar as the 2-1 pitch sails high. Ball 3, 3-1. Sir Anthony Dominguez tuning up for the season. Had dominated at this point in the spring, pitching 4 innings, allowing just 2 hits. There's a fly ball to left field. That's hit well, but not well enough. Cousins on the track will now move up onto the grass and make the catch. Pillar just got under that a bit too much. Kevin makes 2 of the 3 outs here in this third inning as the Blue Jays send 10 men to the plate and score 5. We go to the bottom of the third. Blue Jays 7 and the Phillies 2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
1-800-GOT-JUNK was founded on 4 big ideas.
Number 4 is always hire happy people. Happy, happy, happy. Create a great place, and great people will find you, and your company will grow like crazy.
Our local partner needs more people right now, right?
Yep, that's why we're doing this commercial.
This is a commercial?
See that? That's a microphone.
Oh.
When you work at 1-800-GOT-JUNK, good things happen every day.
People smile when they see you.
And invite you into their home.
And point at things they want you to make disappear.
And maybe they'll sing you a song.
But don't count on that.
Being part of a truck team means you get a lot of autonomy.
And great pay. Plus profit sharing and bonuses.
And you'll learn a lot of communication skills that will help you for the rest of your life.
And time passes quickly when you're having fun.
Speaking of time passing quickly, we're out of it.
Go to 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com
and click the button that says Careers.
Conda.com, Canada's promotional product experts. They've been in business for 46 years. Chances are you don't know them. But you should.
Good head on my shoulders going out there to pitch, regardless of what we did in the past couple of games. I know that the ball flies there, and it's a good hitter's park, and I know that most of the time the Blue Jays have some guys with some.
Here's big free agent acquisition, the righty Jake Arrieta. Umpiring crew for this afternoon's affair. Haven't seen him go deep yet, and then we see that 62-mile-an-hour exit velocity little float. Way to go to his left on what, without the shift, is a normal routine.
An 0-1 count. Shoemaker deals and throws inside.
When I talked to Charlie Montoyo about this in Port Charlotte the other day, he said the infielder would go to the spot where Harper hits the ball the least as far as the spray chart showed.
Shoemaker working out of the windup. The left side of the diamond is wide open. The pitch must have been called inside. Looked like it had good location into the middle. Luke Maley. It's 3 balls and 1 strike on Harper. And this isn't just something that the Blues.
Number 3, Bryce Harper.
The crowd starts.
Thank you to Baby Ducharme.
Baby Ducharme with the national anthems. And he takes the first pitch. Off speed for a strike at 0-1. McCutcheon hit a ground ball up the middle, and Richard Urania made a really nice play going to his left to get the first inning started for the Phillies. That pitch inside, ball 1, 1-1. Shoemaker into the windup. Delivers inside. Shoemaker's windup is not as funky as Trent Thornton's, but there is some funk to it. Glove at the face as he looks in for the sign. Then he moves his hands down to his waist. Up above his head as his knee covers his face. He delivers it, and it's a ground ball to third. Sogard has it, throw to first. In time for the out, 1 away. As Gene the hitting machine comes to the plate, we'll remind you that opening day at Rogers Center is less than 3 weeks away. Thursday, March 28th, with the Detroit Tigers in town for the first of 4 at 3:37 p.m. And it's Blue Jays Pocket T-shirt giveaway to the first 45,000 fans entering Rogers Center. First pitch to Segura bounces into the plate for ball 1. Jays and Tigers opening day is Thursday, March 28th. First pitch scheduled for 3:37 p.m. Eastern. Go to BlueJays.com for your tickets. 7-3 Blue Jays here in Clearwater. These two teams meet again here on Friday as Segura takes a strike. They're basically neighbors, the Blue Jays and Phillies. The ballparks are 5 miles apart. One in Dunedin, one in Clearwater. 1-1 hit on the ground to short. There is Galvis off his back foot, throws to first, and gets another one of his replacements. 2 down.
Bryce Harper.
And again, Bryce Harper walking up to the theme from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, I get it, again, but it is about someone moving away from Philadelphia.
It'd be more fun if it was the theme for Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, for It's Always Sunny, that would be cool. Bryce Harper, in his first at-bat as a Philly, he walked in the first inning. Now he swings and he fouls one off, right field side. Harper is a Philly until he's 40. A 13-year deal for $330 million. The richest ever total value in North American pro sports. Not the richest ever average annual value. But he said he wanted to leave them some room. The 0-1 pitch is low. And that room left ostensibly, Ben, so that after the 2020 season, the Phillies can pursue the hometown kid, Mike Trout.
It'd be really interesting, and another guy that factors into the plan, Jake Arrieta's got an out in his contract after this season that he can exercise.
1-1 to Harper, up and in, ball 2.
So, you know there will be some deep conversations over the course of the season about the direction that this club is headed. And that was part of the process for Bryce Harper. He had questions for John Middleton when they sat down 1-1. John Middleton had questions and motive for Bryce Harper.
2-1 pitch to Bryce is low, ball 3.
A lot of the details are chronicled in an outstanding article by Matt Gelb. And then this morning, Megan Montemurro posted another great article about the metrics behind already signing Bryce Harper, the rollout plan that the marketing team had, already the impact on the numbers from viral videos,
3-1 pitch is outside, and Harper for the second time draws a walk and boos. Well, sure, they booed Santa Claus. Boos from the Phillies fans wanting Jake Arrieta to challenge Harper. And Bryce is coming out of the game, and we'll hear the round of applause as he leaves.
For the Phillies, waiting for Harper, number 75, Adam Hazley.
Adam Hazley, the pinch runner, like you said, Ben, off the top. 1 or 2 at-bats for Bryce Harper. He doesn't even get an at-bat. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks, and Harper, as a Philly, has an on-base percentage of 1,000.
He got 1 big rip out of today.
Out of his shoes, that first pitch. Here's Rhys Hoskins, who hit a mammoth 2-run homer with Harper's walk aboard in the first inning. Shoemaker's first pitch to him is inside for ball 1. Phillies have scored 3, all on home runs. The 2-run shot by Hoskins in the first, the solo job by Lane Adams leading off this 3rd inning. In between, the Blue Jays have 7 runs on 10 hits. Hazley the lead. 1-0 pitch. Up and in, and Hoskins goes down and stares out at Matt Shoemaker. Hoskins still looking right at the Blue Jays righty, thinking that Shoemaker buzzed the tower because of the home run, and Shoemaker, looking back, says, "Get in the box, it was a breaking ball."
Reese straddling that back line of the batter's box, staring out at Shoemaker, and you're right, he kind of scoffed him back towards the box.
Oh, pitch is just inside ball 3, waist high that time. Matt Shoemaker not putting up with anything from the enormous Rhys Hoskins. 7-3 Blue Jays, and things are starting to get interesting here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a 3-0 count. I'm sure there is a green light. The pitch is low, ball 4. Hoskins draws the walk.
He didn't go with the fastball. He went with a slider on that pitch. Thinking that if it's close with a fastball, Reese would be ripping at it.
Brings out Pete Walker for a chat with Shoemaker after back-to-back walks. Action in the Blue Jays bullpen. It's Zach Jackson who is throwing. And now Walker has the entire infield, well, half the infield in, as Freddie Galvis is there, and so is Justin Smoke, but Richard Arania and Eric Sogard don't appear terribly interested in the conversation. Back-to-back 2-out walks, and Pete Walker just coming out there to slow the pulse of Matt Shoemaker after that little altercation with Hoskins. Yesterday, the Blue Jays played twice. They split their squad, and both Sean Reed-Foley and Marcus Stroman threw 4 innings. They combined to allow only 1 hit between them. Shoemaker struggling here to get through a 3rd with a 7-3 lead, facing JT Realmuto, who he struck out to end the 1st inning. First pitch to him, swing and a miss on that splitter down. That was a pitch he got Realmuto with in the 1st, come right back to it and has him fishing again.
That's been a really good pitch all spring for Matt Shoemaker. He had that tumbling action in his very first outing, and it's been crisp.
Hazley and Hoskins take their leads, not being held. 0-1 to the all-star catcher is a ball to throw down to first. Is just shy of the bag to try to get Hoskins. Maley had a great thought with that back pick at first base. The throw didn't quite have enough on it to get to the bag.
Felt just a little bit short. You'll hear coaches and catchers in conversation talk about throwing through the base. That means they want to throw it through the base, not right on a corner, not in front, or lob it down there where it lands behind. They want to throw it on a line through the base, and if it would have gone through the base, that would have been an out.
Yep. 0-2 though on Realmuto. There's a pitch, swing and a miss. And Shoemaker strikes him out on 3 pitches, and as he walks past first base, has something to say to Hoskins, and Hoskins taps his chest and points at Shoemaker, so it looks like everything is okay right now between the two of them. Everything's okay for the Blue Jays right now as we head to the 4th. Jays lead the Phillies 7-3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball.
For you, because as a Duca member, you're also an owner, so you share in the profit.
This coverage that's completely tailored to.
And the Blue Jays electing not in the first at bat to go with the 4-man out.
The designated hitter, number 3, Bryce Harper.
The crowd starts to rise as Bryce Harper is announced. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air blaring in the background. It's Harper's show here today. He's making his Philadelphia Phillies debut. Participated in a couple of sim games earlier in the week. And is locked and loaded for his debut against Matt Shoemaker here today. Left-handed batter with a runner at first and 1 out. The shift is off to the right. The pitch. Swing and a miss by Harper. That's strike 1. And the Blue Jays electing not in the first at bat to go with the 4-man outfield. They have shifted to the right. We have got 3 outfielders in traditional placement.
And I'll bet you it's because there's a runner on first.
Right.
But that was one heck of a swing by Harper. He tried to make his entrance a grand one right there.
Harper resting the bat on his left shoulder. Shoemaker in the stretch. Kicks and deals. Down and out with the toss, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Can I say I'm not sure about using the theme from the Fresh Prince, Bel-Air, as your walk-up music? I mean, I know Will Smith is from Philly, but it's a song about someone who moves from Philly to L.A.
Lob over to the bag at first, and they picked him off. Segura caught leaning. A great move by Shoemaker. A slap tag by Smoke, who got down quickly on top of the palm of Segura. And now as Segura gets picked off, the Phillies lose their runner at first, and now the Blue Jays will deploy the 4-man outfield. It's Eric Sogard leaving third base and going into play towards the line in left. Hernandez shifts to the gap in left center. Pilar slides over, and then Alford deep in right field. An 0-1 count. Shoemaker deals and throws inside.
When I talked to Charlie Montoyo about this in Port Charlotte the other day, he said the infielder would go to the spot where Harper hits the ball the least as far as the spray charts showed.
Shoemaker working out of the windup. The left side of the diamond is wide open. The pitch must have been called inside. It looked like it had good location into the middle. Luke Maley. It's 3 balls and 1 strike on Harper. And this isn't just something that the Blue Jays thought to defend Harper. This is metrics. This is data. 3-1 pitch. Way outside, ball 4. Harper takes the free pass. And with 2 down, Bryce Hoskins will bat.
It's nice to pick off Segura in the middle there, but this is back-to-back walks here by Matt Shoemaker in the first inning.